All right, so let's go ahead and talk about the this person here, our detailing. Thanks a million for the information. I've learned a lot with just watching 3 of your videos. So I've been doing a lot of research on rapid set cement, all because I'm going to be redoing my concrete driveway. I can't afford to rip out the old concrete and just lay a fresh slab, so I'll be using rapid set cement all. It's tied together, but Google probably separated his words. I understand that it dries fast. You have to keep it wet at least 1 hour. But I was just wondering if you have any information or pointers for me. The reason I'm going with cement all. The word is it's cement all. It's the product, right? From Rapid Set is for the durability. Also, if I added a little more water than recommended, will I be compromising durability? I have 2 SUVs that I use for the driveway. Thank you. All right, so let's just talk about what I call hydraulic jackhammering, hydraulic loading. So your car comes in there, you slam on brakes. When you do that, when you have that forward momentum of your vehicle, and then you stop, your SUV weighs with the people in it, 4,000 pounds. Let's call it 4,000 pounds comes to an immediate stop at where the engine being heavier loads the front of the tires and pushes down onto the pad. So if you look at your pad, your existing pad right now, and you see ruts in it for asphalt, for example, if you have asphalt, those you ever come up to an intersection, a red light, and see the ruts in the road? Those are trucks and everything that come there and they slam on brakes, and they're compressing that asphalt even more in the soil below it, and that's what you're looking at. The asphalt being more flexible, it has that shape to it. You know they didn't lay the asphalt like that. So the same thing with your concrete, though. Your concrete's a lot more rigid, and when you slam on brakes, it vibrates down the dirt below it, sometimes creating a void up below there, or the water could get underneath your pad, swell, and then dry. When it dries, it shrinks more, creating a void again. And when you come in there and you slam on your brakes again, all of a sudden a crack appears. That's because of that void below, and the concrete only takes about 10% of intention for it to crack. So let's say your car, your surface of your tires, you have to divide it up. Your surface of your SUV tires based on the load, weight, and the distribution of the vehicle, the load, the engine being more on the left, maybe the weight, or in the front. I don't know how balanced it is, but I can tell you a good way to check that is when you go to motor vehicle, and you slam on your brakes and you do that test. They have a machine there. You can look to see how much of your front of your vehicle is taking the braking and how much of the rear, if you just get the numbers from them. I did it with my motorhome and a couple of times with the motor vehicle showing me my load distribution. So you'll know what's going on there at that speed too when you slam on brakes. So you want to come in easy and stop your car if you want your driveway to last longer. So my pointers are to you is that look for the existing cracks in your concrete. Go out there with a hammer before you start putting it on there and tap the concrete. If it sounds hollow underneath, well then you're probably hollow underneath, and that crack is probably going to duplicate itself again. If there's one higher than the other, then it's probably one is sitting down. Now with the one that fell down, obviously sitting down, it's not going to raise up. It's not going to raise up unless you happen to crack it on the edge, and you get on the edge, and that crack is separate from the entire concrete and tilts it up. But it's going to be one side's going to be going down. The other one's pretty much going to stay where it is. It's not going to magically lift up. So those cracks are because you got voids underneath of there, and you've got the tension cracks, right? So think of it that way, and they're breaking. I'll try to do more videos of it in driveways and show you the driveway, and maybe do some sounding with the hammer to help you visualize it. But the cracks are very important, and so your tips are the cracks. If you want to resolve it, you can tap on it, find that hollow point, that hollow spot, and realize that it's going to, you might have movement. Look for water. You don't want water coming underneath there from your gutters. You want it to go away from your driveway, not underneath of it. In wintertime, the water can freeze and expand and contract, and your soil is what's going on. It's not going to affect the concrete as much as the soil is more important, is what it's doing to the soil. As it expands and contracts, dries, it's shrinking, it's getting tighter and tighter and shrinking the soil, if you will. If you got a stone base under there, that's great. But remember, the stone base is supported by the soil below it. So the same thing can happen. You can still get shrinkage of the soil, and your stone base just separates. Hope this is another good tip for you guys watching and thinking about your cracks. Remember, there's always a reason for cracks. They're not magical cracks as a lot of engineers say. It's just not, and the contractors will tell you it's not a matter of when, it's if, it's when. Well, that's not necessarily true. You can stay on top of it if you could do it. If you can do it now, reinforcement rebar is not effective until a crack happens and you load it. Then it becomes active. So people tell you, well, it's designed after a crack. Yes, it becomes active afterwards under loading. So you load it, and then it puts the rebar in tension or in shear if you depending on where your loads are. But that helps keep it together. Yes, rebar over wire is much better. So there you have it. Take care. I'll do more videos on this. You can ask me questions, and that's for red detailing. Take care, and of course all you other lovely people.